They hung around against Liberty last time out, lost by 16 against the first place Flames. They have lost 5 in a row. Only one true road win. That was a nice win at George Washington early on this year for Delaware. They're going to play a lot of zone here tonight. The Aggies made 14 threes against Delaware in the first matchup, shot 50% from the arc. The Aggies are not stunned by the zone. They expected this to come. Lob up top, overthrown by Elliott, intended for Juice Mims. The Aggies expect to see a lot of zone here tonight. They worked on it a lot this week in practice.
And I think that's probably a tactical decision by Martin Inglesby, just with when you have so few players.
Trying to save legs, right?
Yes, and stay out of foul trouble.
Christian Bliss, Justin Fernandez, Macon Emery, Jaden Taylor, Tyler Hauser. Bliss does it all for Delaware, number 00. Junior out of Queens, New York. Team high in points, assists, steals, good rebounder as well. Corner three is an air ball for Fernandez. Jason Hooten really shaking it up here tonight. Jamel Jones will come off the bench. And Jalen Randall is making his first start of the season. He's been a high-level scorer off the bench, and now he's going to start here tonight. Jason Hooten trying to push all the right buttons here to get the Aggies back on track. Nice pass by Osborne as he finds Sear Malanga. Shot clock inside at 10. Hand off to Randall. His floater is good. He's averaging 9 a game off the bench. We'll see if this change helps Randall even more, Russ.
Yeah, he's extremely versatile. He does everything pretty well. He's got good size. He's nearly 6'7".
First time in a while that Jamel Jones has come off the bench. Also came off the bench against Missouri State in the first matchup. And off to Fernandez, who averages 15 a game. Transfer from Providence, began his career at George Mason. Hauser can shoot it from the arc. Backing down on Malanga. Shot clock at 1. Has to throw it up, and it's a shot clock violation. Bliss was trying to tell him scoring has been an issue for the Blue Hens this year. League low, 65 points per game. Spacing wasn't great on the previous possession, but it worked for Randall. Now, Delaware did play a little bit of man-to-man against New Mexico State. Pretty much exclusively zone, though, last time out against Liberty. Elliott, top of the key, swings it for Osborne. Elliott coming off the great game, maybe his best game all year against FIU. That pass by Randall intended for Mims is stolen by Delaware. Blue Hens only force 9 turnovers per game. Worst in Conference USA in turnover margin. Bliss on the pick and roll. Shuffles it off for Hauser. Backing down on Malanga. Trying to turn the corner. And he sticks it in. He thought he was fouled as well. Nice move by Hauser, who's given up 2 inches on Malanga.
It is great balance by Hauser as he banked that in.
A little bit of a slow start on this end for New Mexico State. Trying to carve up the zone. Malanga in the high post for Mims. Ball movement critical against his zone defense. Also critical to get pink touches, and that works for Juice Mims.
Well, beautiful pass by Jacoby Osborne.
What are you looking for offensively, Russ? Pink touches, get the ball to the short corner and really move it side to side?
Yeah, maybe short corner, and also that was nearly the high post where Jacoby Osborne. But often I think the key is to attacking a zone is often through the high post. Let's see what the Aggies do.
And like we talked about earlier, Delaware is probably playing the zone to save legs, so I don't think the Aggies will shoot them out of the zone. This is likely something they will stick with the entire 40 minutes. Foul was called on Osborne. Tyrese Mullen checks in. He had been starting the previous 3 games. Hauser spins on Mullen. And this time he is fouled. Foul is on Tyrese, and Hauser will shoot 2, 77% free throw shooter. Last time out against New Mexico State, Bliss, Fernandez, and Hauser combined for 58 of the 68 for the Blue Hens. So it's kind of a 3-headed monster. You work in Macon Emery as well. Emery's averaging 11 a game, but Delaware really focusing on 3 guys right now on offense: Bliss, Fernandez, and Hauser. Hauser's an impressive big guy. Started his collegiate career at VMI. Looks like this zone for the Blue Hens kind of extending out to the arc a little bit more. So the Aggies dominating inside with Mims. Second straight bucket for Juice.
Well, you're right. The short corner might be the key here as well. That was a beautiful pass.
And that zone is tighter to the arc than what it's been, it seems like, for Delaware. And a large part of that is how well New Mexico State shot the ball from the arc against the Blue Hens last time out. Hauser can shoot it from the three. Straight on three is good for a 40% three-point shooter. His 29th made three this year. Two straight buckets for Mims. Mims in the short corner right now. Osborne looking high post. It wasn't there. Defender Fernandez was in front of Mullen, and then Elliott slaps it away, and it will send us to a media timeout. A lot in half two in that comeback effort against FIU that fell just short a couple nights ago. Aggies allowing 76 points per game in conference play, and Jason Hooten, of course, feels like that number is way too high. Floater is off the mark for Fernandez. The Aggies gave up 80 plus in both home games last week. It's Mullen in the high post. It's Mims in the short corner. Here's Randall. Still no three-point attempts. Terrell. Back to Randall. Passes up a three. He goes inside. Gets blocked by Hauser. The three on the timer.
Hauser's a lot more active than he looks like a defensive end, but boy, he moves pretty well.
Blue Hens won't go deep. The Aggies will, though. Aggies are fully healthy, and Anthony Visech will come in off the bench. Need to get a shot away quickly. Three on the timer. Looking for a lob for Mims. It wasn't there. A lob it in for Mullen. Has to shoot a three, and it's an air ball for Mullen. Rebounded by Fernandez. First three-point attempt for New Mexico State. They shot 28 of those in the first matchup. Fernandez, nice move to the rim for the former top 80 national recruit who's out of Richmond, Virginia. Aggies will screen the zone with Mims. Pretty good length for Delaware. That always helps in a zone. Randall's three hits the back rim. Mims the offensive rebound, kicks it back out. Step in three is no good for Visech. That was in and then popped away for Anthony Visech. Well, you get a lot of confidence early if you shoot it well against a zone, and if you don't shoot it well early, then you lack the confidence. And right now, New Mexico State searching for it. Bliss still doesn't have a shot for Delaware, and everything typically runs through him. Fernandez taking over this game right now. 4 in a row for Justin Fernandez. The Aggies want to avoid digging themselves a big hole. They did that last Thursday against Missouri State when they trailed by 17 early on in the game. Terrell fakes the pass, fires a three, and splashes in the three. Only his 8th made three this year.
Yeah, the Aggies are getting decent looks against the zone. They've already got 3 turnovers at them, and that's a concern.
Delaware wants to slow down the pace. They want to save legs. Bliss averages a national leading 39 minutes per game. This is Bliss right here. Popping out is Macon Emery. Back rim no good on his three. Pulled in by Mullen. The Aggies want to run if they can. Lob up top for Mims. Slapped away by Emery. Underthrown, and also a very difficult pass there by Chris Terrell. Post feed to Emery. Mims defends. Stays vertical. Tough jump hook. Pinballs through for the sophomore, Macon Emery.
He's a good-looking sophomore, Adam. He's wiry, but he's got a good frame. He'll put on 10 or 15 pounds before he's done with the Blue Hens, I bet.
Already 4 Aggie turnovers. Same spot for Chris Terrell. This time he bricks the three. Bliss will maneuver across midcourt. Once again, walking the ball into the forecourt. Randall with length defends Bliss. Bliss to the rim. Bank shot good for Christian Bliss. The transfer from Virginia.
Well, great body control. He's thick and strong, and with a great first step.
Aggies not able to get any high post touches for the most part. Mullen rumbles down the paint. Shot no good for Mullen. Point blank range wide open, and he rushed it. Aggies are trying to get some high post touches, and the Blue Hens won't allow it. Bliss backing down the smaller defender, Terrell. Good help by Terrell. Going to leave somebody open, though. It's Emery from the corner, and he knocks down the three. Jason Hooten will call a timeout, which will turn into a media. Hot start for Delaware. Looking for just their second league win. In Delaware, Russ, they would love to keep this game in the 60s. The pace is going to be slow. Once again, they don't have a deep bench. 5 scratches tonight. They're going to switch up defenses as the game goes on. They would love to play this in the 60s. So you do not want to get behind by double digits against Delaware. It could be hard to catch up because of time. Jamel Jones in the game for the first time, not starting today for just the second time all year. Here's Augustine Ekwe, and the freshman gets stripped away and stolen by Houston Emery, the older brother of Macon Emery for the Blue Hens. 7 for Hauser right now to pace Delaware. Bliss only has 2, but he does facilitate a lot of what Delaware does on offense. Alex Kazanecki is now in off the bench. This is Bliss, and the foul is offensive on the screen on Houston Emery. Buna Kebe also now in for Delaware, number 35 in blue. So Delaware going a little bit deeper than normal. Only 10 minutes in, the Aggies getting doubled up here at home. Jones bounces on the wing for Gabe Pickens, his first minutes here tonight. Ekwe back outside, 3-4 Visech is off the mark. Offensive rebound, Jamel Jones back out to the arc for Pickens. Bounces to Ekwe, who fumbles to catch. Ekwe scanning the paint, jumps to pass in the corner for Jamel Jones, who overthrows Pickens on the near wing. That was coming towards us.
It was the right idea by Jamel. He was open, just overthrew him a little bit.
6 turnovers now. And this is looking a little bit similar to last Thursday against Missouri State. With the inefficiency early on offensively. Jumper is good. That's Kebe, the senior from Senegal.
A nice setup by Christian Bliss. He's a bit of a power guard, isn't he? Adam, you're not old enough to remember Quinn Buckner, are you? He's a little bit like Quinn Buckner, where he really uses his body. He's thick and strong. He's not in any hurry, but he's exceedingly smart.
The Aggies trying to snap a 9-0 Delaware run. Tough shot for Jones is no good. Offensive rebound, though, for Ekwe. Good ball movement there. Visech swirls off the 3. Osborne the offensive rebound, and he's fouled going up. So the Aggies a second chance opportunity, and really good ball reversal on the 3 for Visech.
Yeah, that was the best ball movement the Aggies have had so far.
Osborne has sputtered his entire career from the free throw line, only 59% this year. His numbers are going up. Jacoby averaging 8 points per game and 6.5 rebounds per game in his previous 4 games. As Juice Mims comes in for Ekwe. The free throw breaks a 4-minute scoreless drought for the Aggies. And Jacoby gets 1 out of 2, but last touch, I think, by Mims. Yep, it's going to be last touch by Mims in Delaware ball. Now, Juice Mims is telling Jason Hooten to challenge this, and I think Jason will.
Yeah, that seemed to me that it was off of Delaware. Let's see what the officials say.
So this will be a coach's challenge for Jason Hooten if he does not win this challenge, he'll lose it for the rest of the game, but if he wins it, he gets to retain the challenge for later on. Yeah, that might have been touched by Hauser last. I think Mims had it initially, and then Hauser slapped it away. Officials were kind of looking at each other for the call. Blake Harris, Stephen Orcus Jr., and Tucson Grigg, the crew. If you're a head coach, Russ, in those scenarios, you have to trust your players, and Juice was pretty convinced that it was Hauser who slapped it away last.
Yes,
and it looks to be that way.
Yes, yeah. And you don't want the players to get emotional and tell their head coach if it's not the case, boy, you could really get yourself in trouble. But I think what's going to concern Jason Hooten more than this out of bounds is Aggies have given up 7 out of 10 shots. You know, they've made 7 out of 10 Delaware, and that is not, you know, I've watched Jason Hooten's teams play for years, and they're stingy and tough, and you cannot get a good shot against them. And here Delaware is 7 for 10. That's not going to sit well with them.
So Juice Mims was right. Jason Hooten wins the challenge. He gets to keep it for later. Shot clock will go down to 20. And I know it's early, Russ, but this is a big possession right here because New Mexico State trails by 10. And this is a big possession to try to get things right on this end of the floor.
Yeah, and they're going to be man-to-man here just for at least for this play, it looks like.
Inbound pass goes to Randall. Back on the arc for Pickens. A lot of minutes early for Pickens. Only 8 combined minutes in his previous 4 games coming in. Shot clock down to 10. Pickens back on the arc for Osborne. Randall, shot clock down to 2. Throws up a shot, rims off. Osborne boxed out nicely by Macon Emery for Delaware. Here comes Fernandez out of the backcourt. Fernandez, a post touch to Hauser, back on the arc for Emery. A number of really good three-point shooters for the Blue Hens. They average just under 9 made threes per game. Kembe slips, met by the defender Randall. Pop loose, grab by Osborne. The Aggies pushing. Osborne a Euro. He's blocked away from behind. I think it was Kazanecki, the freshman from Ohio, who got his hand on it for Delaware. Stolen by Randall. He'll attack. Layup hits the bottom side of the backboard for Randall. Fernandez slipped, and Delaware has possession.
That's twice in a row I thought the Aggies had an open man. That's not a good sign, Adam. I thought he had Jalen Randall on the wing, and I thought the time before that Jacoby had Jamel Jones on the wing.
And now Delaware takes advantage as Emery splashes in his second first-half triple. This is a young man who made 4 threes against UTEP 2 weeks ago, scored 21 against UTEP, and a 1-point loss against the Miners. Jones passes up a corner 3 for a better look, and then he spins off the jumper. And it's going to be Delaware ball, and it will send us to the under 8 media.
And it's indicative, Adam, of how the Aggies are struggling. That was Julius Mims running straight into his teammate, Jalen Randall.
Mims shaken up.
First place team and the last place teams, and just I think anything can happen. I am concerned though the Aggies are off. They just look sluggish to me, and they look like they're running in mud.
Delaware on possession with their biggest lead here tonight. A long way from home. They're from Newark, Delaware, first year in Conference USA. Bliss working on Pickens. Just 2 points so far for Bliss. Backing down Pickens, kick out. Fernandez a 3, way too deep, and Mims clears. Good to see Mims still in the game. Aggies 1 for 7 from 3. Elliott could change that in a hurry. We saw that last weekend. Pickens to Elliott, his 3, short. 1 for 8 from 3, that's a good look.
Yes, if anybody can make that shot on the Aggies, it's Elijah Elliott.
His 3-point percentage is up to 40% now for the year. 78 attempts before this game here tonight. Hauser changes hands on the way to the hoop. Had it in his right hand, switched to his left, and then flips it through. 15-point lead for Delaware. The set swings it for Pickens. Around the horn it goes. Elliott bounces to Randall. Randall along 2, rings it through just inside the arc with the shot clock down to 4.
Well, good patience there. Aggies have 4 perimeter players in now, so they're not going to be looking for the short corner, probably the high post even less.
Sierra Malanga started the game tonight but hasn't played in a while, and now Delaware has committed 5 turnovers. The set to the trailer Elliott. Thought about a 3. Fernandez defending right there. Elliott splits defender, shuffles it for Mims, who floats it in. Mims with 6, and the Aggies with 4 in a row.
Nice pass by Elijah Elliott.
Elliott almost with a steal, picked up by Kazanecki. Fernandez might have had that blocked, either blocked or altered. Here comes Visech. Fires it to Mims, works on Hauser, left it short. Good defense on the verticality by Hauser.
Yeah, Hauser is smart. He's crafty. He's got good balance. He's not going to beat you in a 100-yard dash, but he's got a very good first step.
Bliss, the finger roll. Flipped it right underneath the armpit of Pickens. One of the better point guards in the conference for sure. He does everything for Delaware. Visech, he buries the triple.
Nice pass by Gabe Pickens.
Bliss is the only player in the country averaging at least 15 points per game, 6 helpers per game, and 5.5 rebounds per game. And he plays a national leading 39 minutes per game. He threads the needle to Hauser. Timeout called by Delaware. And this will flip us into a media. Well, the constant theme is trying to catch up and make up a lot of ground in half 2.
It's getting where, Adam, maybe before every game I should say, for the keys of the game, one should be get off to a good start, which is a very vague key to the game, but the Aggies seem to dig themselves into a hole and then claw their way out of it.
And we've seen a lot of lineup changes as far as the starters, including here tonight with Jamel Jones not starting, Randall making his first start. Malanga started instead of Mullen tonight, so Jason Hooten trying to push all the right buttons right now. Elijah Elliott brings New Mexico State within 9, single digits now. We know he can heat up in a hurry. Fernandez into the front court for the Blue Hens. This is Bliss. So crafty, the Aggies trying to trap on the ball screen. Bliss fires it to Hauser. Mismatch here with Terrell defending Hauser now. Hauser knows it, and the Aggies switch back to Mims. Hauser's shot is no good, and Mims collects his 3rd rebound. Field goal percentage creeping up for New Mexico State. Elliott gets Emery in the air. Fires it in the corner. Randall too heavy on the 3. Mims trying to tip it out, but Fernandez collects. Good decision making again by Elliott. It's not just been scoring with Elijah. He continues to distribute as well.
No, and he's improved dramatically on defense as well.
Bliss almost took the 3. Fernandez blows by Terrell. Verticality from Randall. Excellent defense. Tipped around and grabbed by Visech. Fernandez down on the other end. The Aggies have a 5-on-4. Elliott for 3. Randall trying to grab the offensive. 3rd team foul in Delaware here in the first half. Randall just beat Emery to that ball.
Yeah, I think Emery was a little frustrated. Randall went over his back a little bit, which I think frustrated Emery. Emery's just a sophomore, Adam. I think he's going to be a good player.
Visech back to the arc, straight on 3 for Randall. Back rim no good. The Aggies 3 for 13 from distance. And a lot of these shots, Russ, have been good looks, especially as of late.
Yeah, they're just not getting the ball to go down, and they're going to have to keep pounding the offensive boards. They've got 6 offensive boards already, but I think that may be the key, Adam, is if they're not going to shoot well, they better go get it back.
Bliss continues to back down defenders, and this time it's a fadeaway jumper. for one of the more crafty point guards you will watch around the country, the Queens native Christian Bliss.
Yeah, crafty is exactly the right word. It's like he's a 30-year-old that still knows how to play.
Mims down the lane, and he gets fouled. He was clipped by Hauser. Might have been bailed out right there. I think Hauser was trying to stay out of the way. Mims, another hard spill. First foul on Hauser. You know, if Hauser doesn't try to stick his body into Mims to box him out, then he probably avoids fouling Mims entirely. But when he stuck his body into Mims, it was probably too soon. So Juice Mims will shoot 2 free throws, 67% this year. And it goes without saying for Delaware, nobody can get in foul trouble. They don't go deep. They've been hit hard by injuries, 5 scratches again tonight. And if you're a Delaware fan too, Russ, you worry about them late in games because so many guys play almost the entire game.
Yeah, and it's just a terrible thing that's happened to Coach Martin Inglesby. And our fans might want to know that his father was a great player. Played a year in the NBA, played on the Villanova team that went to the national championship game in 1971. I'm old enough to remember that team with Howard Porter. And was an outstanding high school coach at Archbishop Carroll.
Long-time assistant under Mike Bray as well at Notre Dame, where he played. This is Fernandez, guarded by Visech. Elliott trying to make it tough on Bliss. Delaware's led by as many as 15 in this half. Fernandez fouled on the 3. And the foul is on Terrell. So Justin Fernandez, who's only attempted 19 free throws all year, will shoot a trio of free throws. Or at least for now he will. I think they're going to check to make sure it was a three-point shot. It seemed like his toes were behind the arc, but they will double check to make sure, and it will be 3 shots coming up. And Hauser is bleeding all over his right arm. So Hauser is going to have to get taken care of by the training staff. First foul on Terrell. Delaware trying to keep Hauser in the game. And the officials trying to figure out if somebody else is bleeding or if that was just Hauser who was bleeding. And I think it was coming from Hauser. So it's 3 shots for Fernandez. Hard to shoot a whole lot better than what Delaware has. It's almost like they flipped a script from what New Mexico State did, Russ, in Delaware 11 days ago. 65% from the field, 3 for 6 from 3, and now 4 for 4 from the line.
That's right, and normally it's the home team that shoots better.
Yeah.
They're used to the rim, so they have flipped the script.
Fernandez capitalizes. The Aggies have made a field goal in 2:34 after trimming it down to single figures. Big screen by Mims. Player down for Delaware. Visech an open corner 3. Jones trying to dip it out. He tips it right to Bliss. And the three-point woes continue. 3 out of 14 from 3. Bliss maneuvers around Jones. Open 3 for Emery. And Delaware will have possession. Because it got stuck in the cylinder in the backboard, the Aggies can't catch a break. There were no rebounders down there for Delaware, but since it's stuck, it's whoever has the arrow, and Delaware will maintain possession. That's when you know you can't catch a break right there, Ross.
Yeah, that's right. Even when it gets stuck in the rim. And Christian Bliss is still sort of, he needs the standing 8 count over there, I think.
Lobs it in from Hauser, who's played very well in this first half. Fernandez squaring up on Visech. Might have been off Visech's foot. Officials let them play on. That is tipped and stolen by Mims. Fires it ahead. Visech sneaks by the defender and lays it in. Right around Fernandez. Shot clock is off for Bliss. There's only been 7 combined team fouls in this half, so foul's not an issue right now if the Aggies happen to foul Delaware before a shot. Bliss, kick in the corner. Hauser's three, no good. Mims throws up a shot, fairly accurate, but left it short. And the Aggies will trail by 10 at the break. Now remember, New Mexico State in half 2 on Saturday trailed by 15 against FIU, and then Elliott shot them back in the game, and the Aggies had a couple of second half leads. Corner 3 for Randall. Good start to half 2.
Yes, excellent ball movement there by the Aggies. And when Jalen Randall's set, he's only 31% from the 3, but when he's set, he can make those.
Russ, it seems like he's shooting a higher percentage than 31%. I was stunned by that number when I saw that the other day.
Well, there's a few times when it's 3-2-1, the shot clock's winding down, and he's got to put one up.
Foul called on Osborne, held the player away from the ball. Emery was about to shoot a 3. There weren't many fouls called in half 1, only 7 combined. Nice play designed by Jason Hooten to start the half. Inbounder is Bliss. Mims trying to slap it away from Hauser. Fernandez heaves a 3. That limbs off. You would think the shooting numbers for Delaware are not going to stay where they are here in half 2, so they're going to have to find some ways to get some stops here in this second half, because you also have to think New Mexico State will increase their shooting numbers in this half here at home. Hauser fires a 3, bricked it. Osborne, the outlet for Elliott. Aggies trying to make up ground in a hurry. Aggies will screen the zone, and now Elliott tells Visech to clear out. Elliott trying to create. Long 2, no good. Tipped out by Mims, and then grabbed by Delaware's Taylor. Squirts loose before Delaware regains. Bliss can really facilitate. Shoots a 3 over Visech. He thought he was fouled as well. He knocks it down. First made 3 on the first attempt for Bliss. His 43rd made 3 this year.
He's got great body control. Again, he's not going to win the 100-yard dash, but he has a great first step.
Elliott looking for the answer. Back rim, no good. Weak side rebound, Fernandez for Delaware. Every decision that Bliss makes is really good. Has a great assist-to-turnover ratio. Played at Virginia for a couple of years. Never played, though, for the Cavaliers. Gets Visech in the air. Fires it out to Emery, who continues to get good looks from the arc. Shot it extremely well in half 1. Visech, Elliott, ball reversal better in this half so far. The Aggies were a little stagnant in half 1. Post touch in the high post for Mims. Jump hook is good over Hauser.
He's got that quick release on the jump hook, which is very unusual for a guy his size. He really gets it up there quick.
Mims, the first Aggie to enter double figures. He's averaging a double-double over his previous 3 games coming in. Randall draws the assignment here on Bliss. Has the length on Bliss. Stolen by Visech. Rare turnover on Bliss. Lob for Osborne. The Aggies have to pull it out. Randall wide open, straight on 3. Missed it wide left. And that is a missed opportunity. The Aggies had numbers and could not convert. I think what Jason Hooten wanted there was Visech to take it to the rim himself in transition. Instead, he was trying to lob it for Osborne. Hauser muscling on Mims, goes to the left and gets the friendly bounce on the road.
Yeah, he's crafty. A little bit like Christian Bliss. Like he's just a smart. He's like a 32-year-old smart old player.
Yeah, 25 in the first matchup, but it was a 29-point loss for Delaware. Visached another made three. And remember, he's the one who shot the Aggies back in the game against Liberty in half two a couple weeks ago.
That's right, and if he can do that tonight, it would be greatly appreciated. Aggies have continued to sort of be stagnant here.
Aggies trailed by 17 at halftime against Liberty. Visached shot the Aggies back in it. Great hustle by Visached. No held ball yet, and now we do get a jump ball called. And possession will stay with Delaware. And maybe that will spark things on the home bench.
I was going to say, that's the kind of play the Aggies need to get fire lit under them.
2 made threes in half two. First it was Randall. Now it's Visached. Aggies within 9 points or less. 3 of the last 4 have come by 4 points or less. Meanwhile, for Delaware, 3 of their first 5 conference losses came by 3 points or less. Delaware 1-7 in the conference. Rebound number 4 for Mims on the miss by Hauser, a rare miss by him. The 3-point shot is starting to pick up for New Mexico State in this half with Visached and Randall, both guys on the floor right now. This is the aforementioned Randall. Inside the arc, the teardrop falls. And all of a sudden, the Aggies are within a handful.
A nice patience by Gabe Pickens there as he sort of waited for things to develop.
Bliss lost it. Last touched, I think, by Pickens. Yep. And it's going to be Delaware ball. Martin Inglesby thought Bliss was fouled on the shot. Russ, the decision-making is improving. When to shoot a 3, when to take it inside. Spacing, ball movement, the whole thing's been better in this half so far. Another great look for Emery. Shallow. High clearance for Mims. Randall for 3. Bingo!
Well, in this for whatever reason, this combination of Aggies seems to be clicking a little bit better on offense. Aggies are within 2.
Bliss on the reverse will silence the crowd. He's only missed 1 shot from the field. 5 for 6 for Christian Bliss, who's now in double figures with 11. Visached to corner 3. Bullseye!
Yes. I don't know if you notice it, Adam. I'm sure you feel the same way. The ball movement is better, and I'm not sure what the reason is. It's just this combination of Aggies seems to be clicking offensively.
Fernandez fell, and it was last touched by Visached. He says review it, and the Aggies will. So they're going to review this. Aggies won a challenge earlier. They're going to review this, and it will turn into a media.
And that's all the Delaware needs is Fernandez to be hurt. They've had so many guys hurt. Oh, okay, he's up already.
A little bit of good news, bad news right there.
Well, it'll only be bad news if they need to challenge again and can't.
Exactly. And it goes a perfect time to do so. Obviously, you get the ball back. And now you can take a lead. Last Aggie lead was 6-4 early on in the game. Delaware led by as many as 15 at half one. Outside to Visached, who's had the hot hand here in the half. Pickens in the game with 10 on the timer. Slings it for Randall. Randall on the spin. Fadeaway jumper, back rim. Mims the offensive rebound. 3 for Randall. Osborne got a hand on it. Saves it out to Visached. Osborne out a 3-point shooter. In the rim. And he lays it in.
Great
Jacoby
hustle.
Osborne puts the Aggies in front.
Yeah, just great hustle by Jacoby Osborne. But yeah, the offense is moving the ball much better. It's possible that Delaware is running out of gas when they essentially play 4 guys the entire game and then sub the other fella.
Jamel Jones about to check in for the first time in half 2. Osborne met Hauser. Osborne leaks out of the pack. Osborne to the rim. Layup is short, and he's going to shoot 2. Russ, it seems like every time New Mexico State makes a push in games, number 4 in white is part of it.
That's right, and it's relentless hustle. Are you old enough to remember Michael Cooper?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Former Lobo, right?
Yeah, that's right. But and I never did see him in college, but he's sort of a jack of all trades, but really what he does well is he plays great defense, and he's a relentless hustler. I've got to stop dating myself by mentioning Tom Gola and
Quinn Buckner.
Guys like that.
Did we have Michael Cooper on our bingo card for tonight? I don't know.
No.
Osborne gets a friendly bounce. Aggies go ahead by 2, matching their biggest lead in the game. And you have to wonder if the Blue Hens are wearing down a little bit. Remember, they don't go very deep. Their starters play a lot of minutes. 3 of their players, top 3 in the conference in minutes per game. 14-2 Aggies scoring run. Plus 12 in the half. Pickens all over Bliss. Kazanecki for 3. Only a 33% three-point shooter, and he puts Delaware up 1. Jamel Jones still hasn't scored. He's barely played in the game. Team high 17 points per game for Jones. 7th best scorer in Conference USA. Popping out is Osborne. He flashed in the key, and he floats it in for 2.
Yeah, just a perfect pass by Gabe Pickens.
Lead change number 4 in the game. Bliss motors around Pickens. The kick. Extra pass. Fernandez. Back rim, no good. Bliss the offensive rebound, though. Osborne creeping up on Bliss, who almost lost the handle. Trying to zigzag in the paint. And he gets fouled by Jacoby Osborne. And that will roll us into a media. As you would expect, he's great at everything. Russ, they have one of the best non-conference wins of anybody in the conference this year. They won by 13 at George Washington. GW having a good year. They almost beat 21st ranked St. Louis and probably should have beat the Billikens last night in St. Louis. So Delaware is capable for sure. We talked earlier about all their close losses early on in league play. Bliss makes both, and Delaware retakes the lead. What will their legs be like in the final 11:30? We'll see. Poked away by Bliss. Blocked by Mims on the other end. Juice came out of nowhere.
Wow.
Sierra Malanga back in, number 24 in white. He applies the ball screen to try to get Pickens free. Now screen from Mims. Randall in the paint. Floater too strong. Malanga the offensive rebound, and he gets fouled going up.
Good offensive board by Sierra Malanga. And what great hustle by Julius Mims. Wow.
And it wasn't like Bliss was just going up nonchalantly. He was really trying to finish. I think he knew Mims was
on his way,
fastly approaching.
Yeah.
Jason Hooten was really pleased with the play of Malanga last weekend as he makes his first free throw. 5 rebounds in 8 minutes. That's good efficiency on the glass. And they're not asking for a ton offensively from these post players, Russ, but they need a rebound.
That's right, and run.
How about that? Malanga makes both. 44% free throw shooter. Lead change number 6. The tie moments ago was tie number 4. Malanga draws the assignment on Hauser. Fernandez, corner kick for Emery. Air balls to 3. He was hot in half 1, quiet in half 2. Great ball movement here. Baseline for Randall. Mid-post extended Malanga. Back to Randall. Nice screen, Malanga. Got Randall free, who grabbed the rebound initially, and then he touched it last. Russ, everything about that was good except the finish, right?
Yeah, that's, and again, it was another series of pretty good ball movement for the Aggies.
And that was one of the main issues in half one, lack of ball movement leading to poor shots. Pickens all over Bliss, trying to make sure he doesn't touch it. The defense is also revved up for New Mexico State here in half two. And I think Bliss was held. Yep, Pickens held him. Russ, you would think at some point Bliss will just wear it out because the ball is in his hands so often, but he just continues to motor through. When the ball is in his hands so often, everything kind of goes through Bliss for Delaware. And his decision-making is elite. Fernandez on the spin in the paint. Back out, Hauser shoots a three over Malaga, and he drains it to give Delaware the lead right back. Entertaining second half so far as we go back and forth. Jamel Jones, the running floater, his first points in the game. Jones averaging 19 a game in his previous 7. Had not scored until then. Hauser triggers another three. This one swirls away. Snatched in by Osborne.
Aggies got a break there. That could have very well gone down.
Jones, fouled from behind by Bliss. Only team foul number 3 are in Delaware. Foul number 1 are Bliss.
Well, he's smart. He knows that he can't get in foul trouble as thin as the Blue Hens are.
Elliott will trigger in. Gets it in for Jamel Jones. Contested corner 3. Shallow. Reaching high is Kazanecki to rip it in. Just 2 for Jones. Only 3 for Elliott. But we're tied at 49. Aggies outscoring the Blue Hens 25-15 in half 2. 3 is drained out of the corner. That's 2.5. For the freshman Kazanecki, who only averages 4 points per game. Only had 16 made threes in the first 19 games. Jones banks it in. A lot of contact as well. And Jamel Jones ties it up. They called the shot by Kazanecki a 2-pointer instead of a 3. Elliott defending Bliss. And the foul is called on Elijah Elliott. His first in the game. Aggies are heading off like this is a media timeout. It is not the under 8 media yet. And you can tell Bliss starting to feel it now. Hands on his knees. Aggies running a bunch of different defenders at him as well. Kazanecki, this is a 3-point try, and he misses this one shallow. And now we will have a media timeout. Next opportunity. Osborne to a cutting Randall. Nice cut by Jalen Randall as it rolls through. Randall with 14. He's had a huge second half.
And a perfect bounce pass by Jacoby Osborne.
10.5 for Randall. Fernandez all the way to the rim, hit the bottom side of the backboard and then touched it again. Hauser a long 3, wide left, scooped up by Randall. Mims running the floor, trailer Randall. Elliott passes up the 3, back out for Randall, stolen by Emery. Layup for Emery is good, and Randall fouled him from behind to tie it up at 53. Point play, had a steal and a lay-in right before the media. Aggies rolling with Osborne, Mims, Randall, Visech, and Elijah Elliott right now. Elliott was outstanding down the stretch over the weekend against FIU. Scored 13 of the team's final 17 points. Almost helping the Aggies to a comeback win. Elliott splits defenders. Randall for three. That's off. Offensive rebound for Osborne. Trying to save it to Visech, and he underthrew it. Bliss defended by Elliott. Bliss, kick out. Kazanecki's had a nice shooting half. And Mims goes high for rebound number 8. 2 rebounds shy of the double-double. Aggies looking for lead change number 10. Randall back on the arc for Elliott. Shot clock down to 10. Visech switches in another three. His fourth made three.
Visech certainly seems comfortable against the Blue Hens, doesn't he? This is his best two-game output so far anyway.
Made 4 threes in the first matchup, scored 14. He has 3 made threes in this half alone. Lead change number 10. How about lead change number 11? The answer from Christian Bliss. Delaware back up a point with 5:31 remaining. Timeout Blue Hens trying to give these players a quick rest. Russ, this is not your typical 1-7 conference team, is it?
No, that's what I think. I think they're really cohesive. I think, you know, it sounds funny to say, but Martin Inglesby's done a terrific job of holding things together. And it really, if I was a Delaware Blue Hens fan, you'd have to look at the injured list and see. It's pretty obvious why their record's not better, but they certainly came to play tonight. The issue with them now is do they have enough gas in the tank to finish the game?
It makes you wonder where they would be right now if they were 100% or even close to it with all their bodies healthy.
Well, that's right. You know, fortunately for them, both Hauser and Christian Bliss are thick, sturdy guys. They're not skinny guys that are going to get beat up.
Good shooting night for Bliss, 6 of 8 from the field. He now has 16 for Hauser. The Aggies have made 5 second-half threes. Randall and Visech doing the second-half damage from the arc. We've had 5 ties, 10 lead changes in this half. It was a 10-point lead at the break for Delaware. The Aggies made up ground in a hurry. And now Delaware leads by 1 with 5 1/4 left in the half. Mid-post Mims, back on the arc to Randall. Penetrates, shot no good. Put-back jam for Juice. He didn't miss that one.
Wow, he's such a quick jumper.
Bliss exchanges to Fernandez. Here's Steele Osborne. They have some length on Bliss, and now a switch. Randall guards Bliss. Step back Bliss, leans into Randall, and he draws a foul. He'll shoot 3, and Jason Hooten says no way. That is just a smart play by a smart player. Whether Randall fouled him or not, Bliss made the official make a decision right there. I mean, you can be the judge at home, but that is Christian Bliss forcing the official to make a call. The only player in the country averaging at least 15 points per game, 6 helpers per game, and 5.5 rebounds per game. An 80% free throw shooter, 6th in Conference USA. Leads the country in minutes per game. You could argue there is not a player around the country, Russ, more valuable to their team than Christian Bliss is to the Blue Hens.
I think that's absolutely right. And he's very measured, you know, he's not panicky, he's fairly unemotional. He just goes out and plays.
Screen Osborne, slicing it inside Elliott. Back out for Setch, who fumbled the catch. A retreat out to the arc. Elliott contested three. No good. Picked up by Fernandez. Aggies 5 for 11 from deep in this half. Much better. Bliss to the rim. And he maneuvered in midair and laid it in. Got by Elliott. And now the lead for Delaware grows to 4. Biggest it's been in a while for the Blue Hens. Media timeout approaching. Aggies trying to find a way to pull one out in crunch time. Same spot they've been in so often all year. Aggies screen the zone. Elliott, long floater, no good. And the rebound is collected by Fernandez. A couple of good looks the previous 2 trips for Elijah Elliott. The ball's in the hands of Bliss often. It's going to be in his hands pretty much exclusively down the stretch, you would have to imagine. Fernandez at the elbow. Backs it out to the arc. Shot clock down to 6. Fernandez, step back jumper, good. And the lead grows to 6 for Delaware on the jumper for Justin Fernandez. And now Jason Hooten will call a timeout.
Yeah, good, smart move by Jason Hooten to sort of break up the momentum.
Aggies trying to cut into the deficit, which is 6 in the final 3 minutes. Visach to corner 3. He stays red hot from the corner. Can Pickens slow down Christian Bliss? Delaware just using clock. Bliss is waiting for the shot clock to get inside of 10. Randall guards on the switch. Next Aggie foul puts Delaware in the bonus. Hesitation from Bliss. Back to the arc. Hauser, fadeaway 3. And it's a shot clock violation. So the Aggies get a 3 and then a stop on the other end.
Well, huge possession. You know, and as good as Elijah Elliott's been lately, I think Gabe Pickens has a better chance of slowing down Christian Bliss. He's just thicker. He's a little bit thicker than Elijah Elliott is.
Pickens runs the point. 2 and change left. 13 lead changes. Visach for 3. Missed that one short. Cleared high by Macon Emery. That would have tied it. Fernandez creeps across midcourt. Bliss calling for it. He's trying to use clock again as he backs Pickens to the top of the key. Visach on the switch. Bliss underneath. Kazanecki will heave. He knocks down the tray. Second half 3 for Kazanecki. Also hit a long 2 earlier. Post touch for Mims. Back in the corner. Visach to 3. 3-point game again. And Anthony Visach won't go away easily.
Well, the Polish rifle is doing all he can to be the hero here, but the Aggies are going to have to stop the Blue Hens at the other end.
Russ, at some point, and it's going to happen tonight for one of these two teams, they're going to win one of these close games. We mentioned earlier, both have played a lot of tight conference games. 3 of the first 5 conference losses for Delaware came by 3 or less. Meanwhile, 3 of the last 4 for New Mexico State have come by 4 or less. So somebody's going to get over the hump tonight.
That's right. That's right. And the Aggies are going to need to stop Delaware here. I like Jason Hooten's idea. I think that Gabe Pickens is a better matchup at slowing down Christian Bliss. If anybody in the gym can slow him down, it's probably Gabe Pickens.
Once again, the next team foul for New Mexico State will push Delaware into the single bonus. And right now, Delaware gets the ball to Bliss. And Bliss has it in his hands until around 10 seconds left before he does much. 20 in the game now for Visech. 15 and half, 2.
Let's go, Aggie fans.
Bliss into the forecourt. The Aggies trying to dig in defensively. Delaware trying to extend their lead. It's a one-possession game. Mims guards Bliss on the switch. Let's see what Bliss does here. Bliss says clear out. Mims has length. Bliss attacks. Inside, reverse layup with the left for Christian Bliss from the right side of the cylinder.
Wow. Really smart play by Christian Bliss. I didn't think he could get that up over.
Pickens throws it away. It's stolen by Kazanecki. And now the Aggies have to foul, and Pickens will. I mean, you talk about a fancy circus finish with calmness to it. I mean, that was perfection from Bliss. He had a 6'9" defender on him. He finished on the right side of the rim with the left. Perfect spin on it. I mean, that was absolutely brilliant from Christian Bliss. And we've seen that a couple of times around the rim tonight.
Yeah, you know, before the game, Adam, I nearly said that the best point guard in the gym is Martin Inglesby. He was such a great player at Notre Dame. But I'm gonna revise that Christian Bliss has really established himself as a great point guard here tonight.
It's 1-1 the rest of the way, at least for now, for Delaware. That was team foul number 7. Fernandez makes the first one.
I should say Christian Bliss reestablished himself as a great point guard.
And that makes it a 3-possession game with 32 seconds left. Aggies have to score quickly, preferably a 3 if you're New Mexico State. Randall's 3, back rim no good. High rebound for Kazanecki. And he throws it off the foot of Visech. So Delaware will inbound again. Different game, similar story for New Mexico State. Crawling back from a big deficit, trailed by 15 and a half, 1, trailed by 10 at the break. Took a second half lead multiple times, and it's Delaware finishing strong here today. Bliss gets it in for Fernandez. Tough catch, and then he's fouled. And Fernandez will shoot 1 and 1.
Well, this is quite a turnaround for Delaware with the Aggies winning in Newark by 29, was it?
29, 11 days ago. It wasn't like this was 2 months ago, Russ. It was 11 days ago. Still 1 and 1 for Justin Fernandez. This would be a huge win for Martin Inglesby and the Blue Hens. We've been heavily shorthanded this year with injuries, hit hard by injuries, 5 scratches tonight. Christian Bliss leads the country in minutes per game. We're going to finish up a long road stretch Saturday at UTEP, and we're going to head there with a win. 19 seconds left. Pickens will speed into the front court. Kazanecki all over Visech, who shoots a fadeaway 3. Picked up by Hauser, and Delaware will pick up their second true road win this year as they finish the game on a 6-0 scoring run, and they win it on the road here at the Pan American Center. Russ, they made winning plays down the stretch. When you go back to the Bliss layup, it's a 3-point game. I mean, if he missed